Hi, this is Robin Mosner, and I'm here with my partner, Lori Davis, and this is Real Talk. How are you doing today, Lori?
I'm doing fantastic. Robin, how are you?
Real well. Today, we're going to be discussing condos and townhouses and how they are different. Lori, do you have a lot of townhouses or condos in Montana?
It's funny because we really have seen a huge amount of new construction for townhomes. And actually, I had a discussion with our team yesterday. Why were we not seeing as many condos being built? Why are there more townhomes being built? And what's really the difference between the two? It was a great conversation. So I'm really excited that we're going to share this with people today.
Right. I think one of the costs that we see are the difference between townhouses and condos, and what is driving the demand is really the costs that are associated with condos. Condo fees can range anywhere from $100 to a couple $1,000s a month, which really puts a lot of the buyers out of that pool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the one thing I think that people need to really realize before they start looking for homes. I think you need to have a conversation with your realtor and your lender and just figure out what your 5-year plan looks like. Because sometimes buying a condo or townhome is not really the best first step, especially for first-time home buyers. Your debt to income ratio comes into play. Also, how much money do you actually have put aside? Because if you're going to own a townhome, it's really a single family lifestyle, but the difference is you don't have control over the whole outside decision of the exterior. So what I mean by that is, let's say that your roof is getting old. You buy a place, you've been there for 5 years or so, and the roof was maybe 6 to 7 years left on it when you purchased it. Is that other person on the other side financially able to help you replace that roof? That's something to think about, and it's come up very often with us.
I think it's important to let the people know that when you buy a condo, you are only buying the area in between your walls. You don't own a common area versus a townhouse. You do own your dirt, your land.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you do like to have a yard, you want to have a dog that's out there, you want to landscape, you want to mow, that's going to be something. A townhome is going to be more appealing to you because of the fact that it's just like a single family residence. Condos are great if you don't want to take care of the yard. A lot of people that are entrepreneurs, they like condos because they know that really it's all taken care of. The roof is going to get replaced. They're paying their condo fees. The exterior trim's going to stay up, the windows, all that stuff is going to be taken care of, and all they need to do is really own and take care of the interior, which is a huge plus for people in that regard.
Right. When you are working with a client that is FHA, what is the one thing that your lender or the agent should ask that listing agent?
Well, they should actually make sure that that condo, basically the whole complex, is approved FHA. If it's not, does the condo association have any, are they going to fill out an application to either re-up their approval or to be approved? If not, if you're an FHA buyer and you cannot go conventional, you will not be able to purchase those condos.
That is correct. One thing about condos, the number of floors are limited by the height within the city ordinance. So you might have condos that go up 20, 25 floors versus a townhouse is usually just one unit. You might have a 2-story townhouse. So that's the difference. Privacy in a condo is different than a townhouse. Also, the amount of amenities in a condominium, you're paying for those amenities through your condo fees.
Yep, clubhouse, right?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they might have a pet area. They might have a room where you can work as an office, entertainment, rent out for events.
Right.
I found that there's a lot more amenities with a condominium versus a townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
However, the condo fees are more steep than with a townhouse. I think with a townhouse, HOA fees versus condo fees, they're more controlled versus condominiums. Also, it's a different lifestyle. It's like if you have animals, where are you going to take them? Most condominiums do have pet areas versus a townhouse, you have your own yard. So You know, it's a different type of lifestyle.
And speaking of pets too, I was just checking on a condo last week, and my client actually has two large animals, and one of them is actually considered a dangerous animal breed. And so I could not sell that condo to her because her pets would not be approved for that actual neighborhood. So that's something to check out too. If they have animals, you definitely need to look at the covenants to make sure their animals are going to be accepted and approved in that.
Right. In condominiums, one good thing is if they are scheduled to be built or if they're under construction, a lot of times they are going to be offering a sales price at pre-construction cost versus a
Correct.
townhouse.
Yes, that is true.
Also, you have to be aware of their covenants and conditions and restrictions as to what percentage has to be owner occupied versus if you're an investor looking to buy a condo. I know most of the condos have been increased from 50% to 65% can be owned by investors versus owner occupied. So it's really important to know that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of condos that do not let you rent out. So there's not even a percentage. There's like, no, absolutely not. So you want to make sure you check that out too and do your due diligence for your client. If you're a realtor, if you are the one buying, make sure that your agent checks that stuff out for you to make sure that that whatever it is you're planning on doing will be able to be done.
Will you be able to? That's sort of similar to HOA docs. You buy a house in a subdivision that has a homeowners association. You want to just make sure what are the restrictions and requirements of that subdivision or that condo complex. Also, an added expense in a condominium can be parking. Do you have a reserved parking spot for your unit, or is that an additional cost?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's so many things to think about. And you know, some of the condos that we have out here are like 55 and up. They don't even allow children. So again, you want to make sure that you know your client, you know the interest of what they have, and do the research for them. If you're the buyer, make sure your agent is doing that. A lot of times I will go pull up a listing and there's no documents uploaded, but it tells me there's covenants. So then I know that I need to go and find those covenants. I need to either call the title company, I need to call the agent, say get a hold of your owner, but you need to make sure that you get that information and read it thoroughly before you decide to move forward with your offer on that townhome or condo.
As a listing agent of a condominium, I think it's our responsibility to know that. So I would not look towards a buyer's agent to ask me that question, hey, is this FHA approved? You should have that already displayed, the disclosures up online. And you know what? Not all lenders do condominiums. So it's really a good, to have a good lender lined up already. If the buyer's lender doesn't do condo financing, you already have a suggestion. You want to do everything that you can to help facilitate a smooth transaction.
Another thing is rural development, and USDA loans are really popular because people really don't have the 3.5% to put down, and they need to have the grants that help them. So again, not all townhomes and not all condos will allow for rural development. So that's another thing that you need to ask as well.
Right. I really haven't seen anybody buy a condominium via USDA because it does have maximum income requirements, and the majority of the new condos, just bypass, the purchase price would bypass the income salaries.
Right.
But
you really need to check that because it differs. It differs with every community, and even in Montana here, we do have a lot of rural development areas because of the fact that we are a vast land state, so we do have a lot of areas with that, but you do again have to check with the lender to make sure that it can be done for that complex. So, just keep that in mind. There's so many things that you need to know. We do have a great website that we're going to refer to you that actually talks more about the FHA approval process with a condo, community, as well as what that process looks like and what the loans look like for the FHA side. So we're going to share that link with you so you get more information and resource. But again, I do think that a condo does fit a certain buyer, a townhome fits a certain buyer, and you need to have that conversation with your realtor. And on top of that, it's a hot market, right? So right now, condos do sell really fast, and so do townhomes. But when the market slows down, they can sit there longer and have more days on the market and be harder to sell if it's not a hot market, because homes are usually people's preferences most of the time. A lot of the buyers that we represent, it's a backup. Okay, I guess I'll buy a townhome because I can't find a house and it's still giving me the yard and it's still giving me the fencing, and I can still landscape it and mow it. So it's not a lot of times a buyer's first choice, but if the inventory is low, it ends up being a choice. Okay. But I'm just saying they don't sell as fast when the market slows down. You can hold on to it longer.
Yeah, I think it all depends what area you're in. Right now, downtown Austin, I mean, the condos they're just phenomenal. Some of the views that we have on those condos, but once again, condo fees and the taxes can really outprice somebody.
Yes, isn't that true?
Definitely. It is.
Definitely. Well, I hope you guys got good value from today. If you did, please comment below if you have any questions for us on that and the subject. We would be really happy to help answer any questions that you have. Even though we may not be in the state that you're in, we're still a resource for you. Okay, so be able to like and share the content that we post. Let us know what you think. Make sure you like our page. What's our Facebook page?
Our page is Social Marketing RE Pros.
Yep, so make sure you like us. You can also find us on YouTube as well under the same thing. And again, we are just trying to provide you value. If there's something that you want to hear about or something that you would like to have a topic picked for us, let us know. We're happy to do that.
Hey, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, Lori.
You too.